Hi, welcome to Dice Control Dojo. I'm Phil, and I practice every day and share my tips so we can all get better at the casino. Well, you see what my title is for this one, so I'm just going to get right into it. We're 19 days out of going to the casino, and my buddies are mad at me, and I'll tell you why. So, last night, I just got through talking about live versus golf, and we were talking about just hanging around until something good happens. Well, I've been going and trying to do live practice at my casino because every 2 or 3 days they give you a $50 free bet. And so the first 3 times I've gone, I've not done well. I've done okay, but I lose a few dollars here and there, and I'm just hanging around, right? I'm not losing big money, but also too, I'm getting free stuff. I'm getting a free bet, and the only reason I'm losing is because at my casino, you have to bet before you throw. So I always have to put a bet down, and I lose that bet no matter which way I go. We'll talk about luck later, but it's talking about hanging around for as long as possible, and that because that one time you're going to have somebody throw well, or you're going to throw well, and you're going to make a lot of money. So, what happened? I went in yesterday with a game plan. My game plan was I was going to put the $50 bet down. I was going to put a 5-5-5 across the all tall small with a dollar on it for each of the dealers. I also put a $5 bet down on the all tall 3, so that if I happen to come out with my $50 bet, I'm hedging that if I hit a a bad number, a horn bet, that I'd lose my bet. So I'm like, well, let me put $5 on there. So now I have invested into this throw. First, I had to put the 15 down to bet on the guy next to me, and he lost right away. So I'm down 15. So now I put 15 up across there. So now that's 15 plus 5, that's $20. I have $3 for each of the thing, and I put $2 on my $50 bet for the dealers. So it's $25 down plus that's $40. So the worst extreme I can do is lose $40, and for the $50 bet. So that's how I've been playing. And so what happened? So I come up to my throw, and I put down my money, and off I go. And I hit a 4. It was a soft 4. So I started throwing. Now, when I was going, I was nervous, and I'm shaking still. And I've talked about this before on the breathing techniques and that, and I still have to listen to my own videos and do that. But what happened with my nervousness and the fact that I've changed my throw a little bit, and I'm doing the throw at an angle like this, and they're bringing the dice in like this, look at what happened to me. My hand came over this time, and I was able to pick the dice up with my forearm pressed against this. And for whatever reason, by doing that, one, I wasn't shaking when I picked up the dice. Two, I was able to get them together and up very quickly, which the dealer likes. But I didn't feel any nerves when I did that, and it was weird. I was like, "Oh, look at that!" And then when I came across, I just simply pressed down on the table, lifted, and did my throw. And I started throwing, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I didn't feel like I was in a zone. I could not find a place to drop that dice properly. They were flying to the left, then they were going to the right. They were consistently not consistent. I wasn't finding a zone in my brain. I wasn't in a landing zone ability. So I know what that feels like when I'm not in a zone, and I was not feeling good. And my game plan was just to throw and try and make the $50 up. If I got that $50 in, then I would start betting a little bit. But I just didn't feel right. And as I'm throwing, I was more focused on this arm settling in, and like I'm in my brain going, wow, this is really cool. I'm actually not nervous, and I'm my forearm is pressed against this. I'm lifting up the dice nice, and I'm like, oh, I want to go home and practice this. Meanwhile, I'm throwing. I threw a 4, a 5, a 9, a 5, an 8, the hard ways, then 11, 12, 8, 6, 2. Now I'm at 10 throws, and I don't have any, I'm not making any money at all because I'm just throwing, but I'm also feeling in the first 10 throws, I didn't feel very good. I'm concentrating on this, but the throws, I'm still not finding a good zone. And it was not landing properly. They were spreading, they were hitting everywhere, not happy. So then my next 10 was a 9, an 8, an 11. A 5, and 9, and then I hit the point. So now I hit the point. So I made my $50, right? And all I needed at this point, after that, I hit that point, all I needed was the 3 and the 12. So in my brain, I'm thinking, wow, I am throwing inside a lot, and I'm feeling good about that, but I need the 3 and the 12. So I was like, wow, I am hitting a lot of inside numbers. So I was like, okay. So we do the next come out, and believe it or not, it was a 7, which with my guys, we call it Christmas, because it's like if we had some come bets up, it'd all come back. But I didn't have anything up. I did lose my $15 up there because on the all tall small. And since I made $50 on this, I put the 15 back up, and then I put a 5 on the horn high 3. And now I'm kind of even Steven a little bit, right? Because I made my 50. I had invested 40. Now I'm putting another 15 up there. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And what happened? I went on a tear. I went on 23 rolls. I hit 23 more rolls when I hit the all tall small. So I had a 5-5-5 up there. And at the end, all I needed was a 3. And I hit that 3, and I won the all tall small. Then I still rolled for another 6 or 7 rolls, and believe it or not, I didn't find my zone until I hit a 9, and I hit 3 9s in a row, and it was a 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. So I knew now I was in a zone and I was going well. So my concentration peaked. I got a few bets up there at that point, and that's when I ended. I ended up with 50 rolls. 50 rolls. I made $1,460. I hit 4 points. I hit the 4 5 times, the 5 5 times, the 6 6 times, the 8 10 times, the 9 8 times, with that being 3 9s in a row, and then the 10 I hit 4 times. So I was definitely inside, and I was definitely throwing a lot that I noticed with my throws didn't hit the hard ways very much. So once again, figuring these dice are not leaving my hands together because I did not hit the hard way very much. It didn't kind of stay consistent, and they were kind of spread out. So with that being said, I didn't bet a lot because I just couldn't find my landing zone. I couldn't find a steady path, and believe it or not, the randomness of the way the dice were going, I made a lot of money. I hit the all tall small. When you're a control thrower, I'm not too happy about hitting the all tall small, obviously, because I'm throwing a lot of other numbers. I'm throwing a lot of craps, and I'm not consistent. So, with the 3s and the 11s and the 12s and the 2s that I was throwing, I was not confident in my ability to do this, but it did make my craps crew very upset with me that I didn't come out of there 4 or 5 grand ahead, which I could have been. it was the longest throw I've ever thrown in my life. I was so tired and really tired afterwards because it was a lot of time to throw, and the concentration. But what did I come away with that? Hey, here's exactly what I was just talking about. I've been hanging around that casino for a week or so, a couple weeks, throwing 3 or 4 times, and maybe losing a little bit, making getting a free prize, whatever. And yesterday was the day I made a lot of money, and now I'm going to take that money, and that's going to be one of our sessions when we go 19 days out. So I'm super excited. So with that being said, a couple things I learned from this is, one, I should have bet more, but I did. I only had $100 with me that I wanted to put in. Came away 1,400, fantastic. But what I really took away from it was the way I can grab these dice from here, and I'm going to be practicing this to see if that helps me with my throw. Obviously, it did that day, and we'll see how it goes as I move forward. So, kind of tweaking my way of gripping, and we'll talk about that as we move on. So, I don't talk about betting strategies, but I do talk about how we can do some practicing. We can throw for a long, long time.